my god. So, okay. Yeah, you know what? I always think of like memes or television shows and stuff like that that just kind of going throughout my day. Like, what is my feelings? What are my feelings on this? Like, how would I react to this? I swear, man, the airplane scenes of him like saying, I picked a hell of a day to quit smoking. I picked a hell of a day to stop drinking. I picked a hell of a day to stop sniffing glue. That's how I feel right now with this stupid ass article from Kotaku saying GTA 6. I don't care about the first playable woman. That I don't give two about that. I am more concerned about Kotaku coming out saying that apparently Rockstar is focused more on creating a more cultural sensitive video game. In a game where the meme, the goof that everybody is tracking is that you can go pick up a lady of the night and then waste her after she's done. That game, GTA, needs more cultural sensitivity. In GTA, you can walk down the sidewalk in the city, in the environment that Rockstar has created, and just murk somebody with no hesitation, no motive, just boom, dead, and just go beyond your day. I don't understand. I mean, I really hope this is not true. I couldn't believe it. I truly, in the world that we live in today, I truly could believe it, that apparently they're wanting to make GTA 6, which again, even in this article says it's years away, being more cultural sensitive. I just don't know how you do it. Like, truly, I don't know how you do that, where you have been basing this game on American cultural things, events, characters, and stuff like that, to where you're like, you know what? You know, stuff that happens in the real world, you know, stuff that really happens to people, that's not always pretty. We're going to tone that down. We're going to tone it down to make it cultural sensitive to where people are not offended by stuff that can happen in the real world that GTA has been going for several years now, over a decade now, of making video games that are really, I mean, bringing in American cultural stuff that happens that, again, like I said, is not always pretty. Now, all of a sudden, in this next installment, they're going, we need to tone that shit down. Yeah, you can murk somebody, you know, right, that's walking on the sidewalk next to you. But we gotta make it a little sensitive to the people's cultures. It's dumb. It's truly stupid. And I don't know what to think about it. I truly don't. So yeah, Kotaku pushes this thing out saying GTA 6 apparently is having the first female playable character. Nobody gives a damn about this. Like, I'll tell you this right now, and even somebody posted, you know, saying, you know, that's great, whatever. This is my thing about it. If this female character has no flaws, is great at everything, it's pretty much a Disney female character, or at least when it comes to Star Wars, a Disney Star Wars female character that's just flawless, or even Marvel. I mean, even, you know, with some of that stuff. This is what I don't understand. Like, again, like I said, you're not seeing a whole lot of people have issues about a female character. My issue with that, at least when it comes to a female character, not an issue with having it, but don't make her flawless. Like, there's so many characters throughout this series that have flaws. Even people in real world, God forbid, have flaws. Not everybody is perfect and perfectious and flawless. People have flaws. That makes them relatable in these games. So it's great to see that it's a female character being introduced for the very first time, but make the person relatable, make the character relatable, and not a flawless person that Disney, you know, Marvel and Disney or Star Wars have been creating recently when it comes to the female characters they have. But anyway, yeah, this is what I put on there, saying it's funny how they're wanting to make it culturally sensitive, but still allow murder with murdering anybody without hesitation. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. So we'll get into this Kotaku article and just kind of get into it. But the funny thing is, so I'm going to read the article. Again, it talks about the development, talking about, you know, where it's going to be based out of, you know, introducing this first female character, yada, yada, yada. Again, like I said, nobody gives a damn. They're adding this first female character as long as she's relatable. I don't think there's going to be huge issues with it. Hopefully she's Cuban American. Like, I want hopefully this character that's Latino or Latinx, whatever. I think it's funny that they came up with the word Latinx, and Latinos don't even like that word. But I hope this Latino, I hope she's a Cuban American, because that gives it a little bit more character of, the stuff that they deal with in Cuba, and people, escaping Cuba and coming over to America. Hopefully that's a little bit of her backstory as being a Cuban American immigrant. Don't know if that's going to be the case, but that would at least make her very interesting. But anyway, you have to scroll damn near all the way to the end of this article to actually get into the cultural insensitivity that apparently Rockstar is aware of. They're aware of the cultural insensitivities of their video games, even though you can literally just beat somebody senseless in the game. You can take a baseball bat walking down the street, see that guy, and just boom, crack him across the face and just take off running. Yeah, you might have 1 star, but what if they make changes to that? What if they make changes to that? I don't know, man. Look, I think what a lot of people like about GTA, and even the Saints Row game with this reboot, is making the same mistake apparently that Rockstar wants to do with GTA. They're taking the realism of what happens in the real world, like tough, disgusting truths of what happened in the real life. Saints Row makes a little bit more mockery and fun of that. GTA somewhat does that, but I mean, again, it's realistic stuff that happens in the real world. It's not always cutting this nice, perfect box that doesn't offend anybody. It's usually, not pretty at all. So it's funny to know that they are just trying to make it to where it does not offend anybody, when truly that offends everyone because nobody buys it whatsoever. So anyway, Rockstar, GTA 6 is one of the most anticipated games ever. Despite the hype, the studio has been incredibly tight-lipped for almost a decade now. But a new report from Bloomberg offers a new big detail, including the game will feature its first female character. Again, like I said, yeah, it's a female character. There's not a whole lot of, criticism or anything about that. I don't really have a whole lot of criticism about them adding this first female character, as long as she's relatable, as long as she has flaws and stuff like that to where players can relate to the character. There's not going to be a huge issue with that whatsoever. If she becomes a Mary Sue, that's going to be a huge issue. But again, like I said, I hope she's a Cuban American immigrant. I think that's going to give a little bit more, different backstory to her. She's fleeing communist Cuba and stuff like that. Anyway, apparently the character inspiration for this female character, it kind of goes off the famous robbers, Bonnie and Clyde. Okay, again, like I said, not a big deal. Apparently it's going to be similar to like Vice City environment, with it being in Miami. Again, a lot of people are not having a huge issue with this whatsoever. And again, it's one of those most anticipated games out there for GTA 5 being out since 2013. Like, I was in Afghanistan when GTA 5 came out. And still to this day, damn near almost 10 years later, I know it's 9 years, but next year 10, I mean, the game's been out for quite a long time, and it hasn't dropped in popularity. People spending still more money in that game with GTA Online than anything else out there. Yeah, I mean, they've had a lot of success with this game. I imagine they're going to have a lot of success with GTA 6. Apparently, with GTA Online going to the Miami setting, the Vice City, setting and stuff like that. I don't think a lot of people have issue with them doing this thing. The funny thing is, I know a lot of people have a huge issue with Red Dead Redemption 2 and that Red Dead Online apparently just not getting any TLC whatsoever. They just completely dropped that thing, but apparently, I don't know if it is, GTA Online makes a lot more money than Red Dead, but, it is what it is. But anyway, like I said, really going through this whole article from Kotaku, not a whole lot. I really don't care about any of the gibberish that they just push out until we get to the very bottom, the second to last paragraph in this thing, where it says, Bloomberg reports that in addition to trying to improve working conditions internally, the studio is also trying to be more culturally sensitive, especially since American culture has become, as the article puts it, a parody of itself in modern times. GTA games parodies of American culture dialed up to 11 have been criticized in the past for misogynistic treatment of women and the offensive jokes that target marginalized communities. Oh my god, dude. It's a video game. It's supposed to be entertaining. The majority of people that are playing it are guys. I'm not understanding this huge issue with this, and people are just so damn sensitive in a game. Like I said, in a game where you can walk down the street and beat somebody's brains in. But now all of a sudden, we want to talk about people being insensitive to other people's cultures. I don't understand that whatsoever. Again, like I said, the real world, the parody that GTA is wanting to do of American culture in the real world is not pretty. The real world, throughout, not even just America, in the world is not pretty. If for the longest time GTA is trying to replicate what happens in the real world in their game, and the freedom and just the stuff that happens in the real world in their game, I don't know why all of a sudden they're going, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to take a step back and be a little bit more. We can't be as realistic as the real world like we've done in previous installments of our game. We're gonna take a step back. I'm assuming in this game, even though they're wanting to be more culturally sensitive, I imagine you're gonna be able to walk down the street and just bash somebody with a bat or hammer or whatever it is in the video game. I think it's really stupid. I think it's so dumb. And it makes no sense. It truly makes no sense that this game has just been, like it says in the article, a parody of US culture and what you can do in the US or around the world in real life to the video game. I would say you'd be able to do more in the video game than you can do in real life, because there's no consequences for the stuff that you do in the video game. It just... It makes no sense. So yeah, apparently Bloomberg also notes that a police-centric mode called Cops and Robbers, first reported by Kotaku, apparently ceased development due to the murder of George Floyd. Again, I don't understand, like, tragedies happen in the real world. I don't understand why tragedies in the real world can't relate to where people can develop stuff in video games. Like, again, like I said, it's really dumb. If they're wanting to parody stuff from the real world into their video game, and again, like I said, you can do more stuff in the video game realm that has no consequences in the real world. Like, and instead, you can't just beat somebody up in the real world and not have any consequences, and in the video game, there's no consequences whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense, and I think it's really stupid. So yeah, this whole thing about cultural insensitivity, I think it's a bunch of malarkey. I think it's BS. It's just stupid, and it just makes no sense, because if you're wanting to create something that people have a little bit of freedom to do, why would you be limiting that? And also too, why would you want to taper it down? Take it up to 11 like you've done in every single video game. Why would you bring it down to 3? That doesn't seem like it's very entertaining whatsoever. People play these games, especially when it comes to Saints Row or GTA, because it takes it to the next level. Bringing it down just makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, just wanted to talk about it, give you guys my opinion about it. I think it's stupid. It makes no sense, especially in a game where you can do so much more terrible things to AI players or real life players in this game. It makes no sense for Rockstar to be like, oh, hey, we need to reflect on people's feelings because we might offend somebody in the real world. Dude, give me a break. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please have a great rest of the day. Look forward to talking to you guys all next time.